you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram. Yeah, because of the
look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids, and we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
But the world we're in right now is really hard for y'all to like discern what's real and what's true.
Yeah, well, it's hard to tell.
And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. You've been making memes.
That wasn't me, man.
I see the memes.
I'll put that up there, but that wasn't me.
No, some of the stuff is funny. Some of it's funny.
You like that? That's funny, right?
But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have shit to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop.
To do with Puffy.
But what will Smith reply to Puffy?
I don't have shit to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop hollering at me. Stop all of that bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own shit. Don't be putting me in other people's bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid shit. So whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil.
It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else.
I blame everybody that's in his circle. They're all means and they want to.
For years, some of entertainment's most powerful figures operated under a quiet silence. Not because questions were missing, but because speaking out carried a cost. Now, with 50 Cent's documentary shifting the narrative, that silence begins to crack, not through chaos, but through structure and clarity. As attention turns back to Diddy and renewed scrutiny around Will Smith, one question cuts deeper than the rest. What stayed hidden for so long? Not because it couldn't be seen, but because silence made it untouchable.
I see you pressing Bieber.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was a low.
That was weird. That was weird.
They did not run through Bieber at that point.
They was pressing him like, why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
Yeah. Like, I don't got a video of me fingering you.
He wasn't answering for a reason.
He was like, I don't have a last time. Because you did things to me. They want to mean something, and what will make them mean something in the environment is if they can connect to the violence. They all want it to make it, so they're going to make their value in that. And even when the artist becomes successful coming out of that environment, you're going to have people around him that he feels secure about being around, because he know that when they travel in these different neighborhoods that there may be something there, but he knows that this person right here will do it regardless of what. So they bring that person. And without acknowledging it, that person needs them to have altercations, for them to need them to be around. That is what is going to potentially bring you down. So when I say that to them, they go, so he's saying it's going to be me that brings me that. Yeah, if you don't adjust and really make the right decisions as you move forward, you are.
Justin might have not been some rebellious pop star going through a, so-called bad boy phase. He was a kid who had been surrounded by powerful figures in the industry, some of whom clearly didn't have his best interests at heart. And that, of course, brings us to Diddy. From the very beginning, Diddy took a special interest in Justin. The extravagant gifts, the 48-hour mentorship, it all seemed like an industry cosign at the time. But looking back, was it really just that, or was there something deeper going on behind the scenes? Then years later, we see Bieber break down in an interview, talking about wanting to protect another young artist, Billie Eilish, from the same things he went through. And now, in the wake of Diddy's arrest, he's reportedly distancing himself completely, staying silent, and doing everything he can to separate himself from that past.
You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does.
While Bieber is reportedly having a hard time processing his history with the fallen music mogul, quote, his happiness being a dad has outweighed his anxiety about Diddy. Much remains unclear about Bieber's time with Diddy, and many of these questions may ultimately go unanswered. Online sleuths will surely continue to read between the lines, but for now, speculation is all we have to go on.
To a lot of us, he's like a little brother.
It seems two things are for certain, however. Diddy was once somebody that Bieber looked up to. Now, not so much. What once seemed like a 15-year-old's dream has become a nightmare for...
For years, Hollywood followed a familiar strategy. Stay silent, wait out the storm, and let the attention fade. And for a long time, it worked, until it didn't. Now, 50 Cent's documentary arrives at a point where silence no longer protects anyone. Instead, it creates pressure. And what was once overlooked can no longer be ignored.
Back at memes of him and Sean Diddy Combs and speaks out for the first time about his history with the music mogul. The Oscar winner took the stage at the Observatory North Park in San Diego December 12th, and during a break in the show, the rapper called out memes he'd seen online trolling his past association with Combs, who is currently in jail awaiting trial on sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution charges. Videos of the moment have been posted online showing Will telling the sold-out crowd, "The world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true. I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. Some of it's funny. But the Fresh Prince sets the record straight on where he really stands with Combs, formerly known as Puff Daddy or Puffy early in his career, saying he's not jiggy with the freak-offs or baby oil, in fact.
Raided his house, found all manner of stuff. They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Let's be clear here. Diddy is a monster. Diddy is the devil, right? The 1,000 bottles alone was enough for me to lock him up forever. Are you drinking it?
Turning silence into its own narrative changes everything. When a system protects itself through delay and avoidance, breaking that silence is never harmless. It disrupts structures that stood untouched for years. And if silence once held power for so long, its collapse forces a hard question. What was it really hiding? And who benefited from keeping it intact?
The world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true.
Yeah, well, it's hard to tell.
And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes.
That wasn't me, man.
I see the memes.
I put that up there, but that wasn't me.
No, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny.
You like that? That's funny, right?
But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop
to do with Puffy. Come away, channel on Roku right now. Fuck out there. No, I was trying to get ready so I don't have to answer to nobody. The new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like.
To us,
That had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch.
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm going to be with you this year. Come on, bro.
Hey, this is the funniest thing online right now. 50 Cent every day wake up and take shots at Diddy on Instagram. We all see that, right? Everybody know that 50 Cent loved to poke fun at Diddy being, who Diddy is, allegedly. But this is funny. 50 reposted this on his Instagram. I guess nowadays, instead of kids saying no HOMO, how we used to say when we was kids and now it's pause. I think the new thing that kids are saying, that's what the internet is saying. The new thing kids are saying is no Diddy instead of all that stuff. And 50 posted this. Check this out. This is what people saying on Twitter. It says, I put all my guys in positions, no Diddy. So apparently, instead of saying no HOMO, kids are now saying no Diddy. So 50 reposted this on his Instagram and he captioned it this. This is what he said. He said, oh, I F with son. That's my man. No Diddy.
The one with Diddy and Jay-Z walking around with the.
Oh, that I think that's an app. So it's like a little app.
That was AI.
That was AI. Yeah, you know, I look at it. It comes across my feed and I'm laughing at it. And then I go, oh no, people will fall out if I post that. I'm gonna post that.
What stayed out of focus wasn't one moment, but a repeating pattern. Connections shaped by success, where closeness was often dismissed as coincidence. Diddy's influence was widely recognized, yet rarely questioned beyond fame, achievements, and associations. Over time, familiarity replaced scrutiny, and repetition quietly reduced curiosity. The real takeaway is cultural rather than sensational. Patterns often slip by unnoticed when they are treated as routine. And it raises a deeper question. How much remains unseen simply because everyone assumes it's normal?
Scooter, who's my manager now, and basically stalked us a little bit, kind of got in contact with us, and finally my mom was calling him back to, say, listen, stop calling me. And he was like, I really see a lot in your son. Like, I can help you guys. And my mom was really skeptical at first. They ended up talking for a couple hours, and he knew some lawyers that we could talk to and stuff. So we ended up flying to Atlanta free of charge, just for him to check us out and get to know us. And
this is Scooter.
Yes, yeah. This is Scooter. And we ended up signing a deal with Usher a couple months later.
Well, everything from my good friend and brother from another mother, Scooter, Samuel Ron, and just really the philanthropic work that we do as entertainers gives credence, and it actually is evidence that we do give back. A lot of what we do is about fulfilling dreams. Well, that reality goes far and beyond just music. There's tons of people who need access to proper education, and I think that being an advocate for change and proper education, Scooter's definitely done it. And if not only being able to facilitate opportunities along with his brother, and introduce Justin Bieber into the really important, valuable.
A victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is, because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile on your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
I was gonna just
Justin Bieber wants to talk. He signed that where a lot of millions he would have to pay if he goes ahead and talks.
Now there was
shout out to Justin. Justin, holler at me. I'll get you all the information. We ain't got to tell the press. Just get at me, Justin. I want to cry for you and with you, Justin. You did not deserve it. And Usher, you about to get your ass kicked because you took him over there and you knew what Diddy was going to do to him.
Well, I mentioned that earlier. That he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. Right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation...
Power rarely exists in isolation. It operates through proximity and influence. Those positioned near it often benefit quietly for years, while the underlying risks accumulate beneath the surface. In such environments, distance isn't just instinct. It becomes a calculated strategy, a way to stay protected while still remaining connected to the center of gravity.
Which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way he would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years.
No, you're not worried that it comes back your way? Like, people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up?
I don't got my past. I took a pill. But it was for me to perform better. Or to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drinks. I gave me the drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
The nearer someone stands to power, the higher the price of questioning it too early. When closeness delivers opportunity up front, but consequences only surface later, the balance shifts quietly over time. And when the narrative eventually changes, it raises a difficult question. Who is left carrying the weight of risks that were never equally shared from the start?
Breaking news to bring you at this time. Sean Diddy Combs facing 2 additional criminal charges in the sprawling sex trafficking case against him. The new accusations are part of a superseding indictment filed today. Federal prosecutors charge Combs with a new count of sex trafficking and an additional count of transportation to engage in prostitution. That brings the total number of federal charges against Combs to 5. He has pleaded not guilty. His trial in Manhattan federal court is set to start on May 5th.
As Sean Diddy Combs awaits his racketeering and sex trafficking trial in a Brooklyn jail, federal prosecutors now adding 2 more charges to his indictment on Friday. The charges allege the hip-hop mogul forced a woman to engage in sex acts for money as recently as last year, and that Combs helped transport her and others to engage in prostitution. Now, prosecutors say they expect 4 accusers to testify against him at the trial, now set for May. Combs has pled not guilty and denies all charges.
50 Cent just recently did an interview. And during this interview, he says that the reason why people are quiet about Diddy is because they've been to his parties and they don't know what's on tape.
Facts. Feds say they got a video of a male sex worker being sexually assaulted by him, and they trying to identify him from the footage. Think about that.
Are you saying of Diddy?
Yeah.
Y'all want to talk about the parties? Because I know people want to bring up the parties all the time. I'm the one that told you I was there. You didn't find out from any other source. I ain't never been to a freak off. I've never been to any party in Hollywood ever where there was something sexual happening. Ever. So you got to understand what you won't understand, because you're a Christian. Why would you even go to that function? What you don't understand is that it's similar to being invited to a barbecue. A bunch of people going out there in the backyard, having some drinks, talking, engaging, politicking, networking. That's all it was. That's literally what it was. It was nothing chaotic and crazy. I mean, there were so many people there It's like if I said, hey man, I'm having a little kickback at my house. Everybody in Atlanta's invited. And you walk into my house and you see Philip Anthony Mitchell over there and you see T.I. That could be a realistic situation. Would you then condemn Philip Anthony Mitchell?
Will Smith's public distancing reflects a shift from long-practiced restraint to clear boundary setting. In today's fast-moving media environment, a denial is no longer just a response. It becomes a signal that the narrative has crossed a critical line. Presented calmly and in public view, it draws a defined boundary without escalating conflict. Yet the timing carries its own weight. When distance is only asserted after silence starts to carry a cost, it naturally raises a deeper question. What makes speaking earlier so difficult? And what does delayed clarity reveal about the pressures behind it?